our motherfucking enemies, you feel me, are full of motherfucking total motherfucking fear. That's why all this, you see this shit is motherfucking catastrophic. Never have there been in time, never have there been a time in their existence on our planet to where they literally tremble at the word from our hearts. At this time, you see a lot of censorship going on. The shift has been happening, you feel me, in real motherfucking time, you feel me? Not mankind's time, but real time, you feel me? Which is cosmic time, and we are coming into the energy of war, which is what our enemies fear. Because they know that everything in nature is against them, and when all energies for war talks off, they will have nothing to motherfucking hide. They can't hide no motherfucking well. The fear is real, and we can sense it in the motherfucking atmosphere. After this December the 21st, 2020, nothing will be the same as it was before. Everything will change, and we will completely lose fear, because the motherfucking energy will become the dominant motherfucking force. You know what I'm saying? And we will begin. You feel me? And you know it's serious. Look at all this shit that been going on, man. Check this shit out right here too. Our enemies they don't got the motherfucking ability to stop our spiritual ancestors. Or you know what I'm saying? They cannot go into the spiritual realm. You feel me? All they can do is physical. That's why they cherish this third dimension. This is the only place they gonna be, man. That's why they so interested in goddamn clothing and goddamn transfer motherfucking consciousness and shit. Cause this is the only place they can motherfucking go. You feel me? That's why they goddamn, the reason for the chemtrails, manufactured coal, the manufactured coal atmospheric control. You feel me? Cause they trying to remove us from our spiritual mindset, cause they ain't got nothing. They can't go nowhere else. They can't, you understand? They can't go nowhere else. You feel me? Look, because look, these motherfuckers, they party is one system. You feel me? We cannot be in this third dimensional mindset and try to operate in the filth in the bull. It ain't gonna commit like that. You feel me? You gotta let go of the bullshit. You must learn that we, the original people, control the narrative. We had the final say in everything on our motherfucking planet. And if you think a nigga being racist because of that, you feel me? Then you fucked up in the head. You feel me? You just fucked up in the head. Now let's get a little more in depth with these reptilians. You know what I'm saying? The big, you know what I'm saying? Bombshell. You feel me? But the reptilians or reptoid alien race, which is a word mixed for reptilians and humanoids and are the same creature, are human-looking lizard creatures that can shapeshift. They are also known as dinosaurs, lizard folk, lizard man, and saurians, and alpha draconians and ceroids. Reptilians are tall. You feel me? See, motherfuckers be saying 7, 8, 9, 10 feet, but I'm gonna drop a video. It get deeper, man. You know what I'm saying? These motherfucker beings can be 30, 40, 50 feet in height. You feel me? You feel me? You know, they want to say green, scaly skin. You know what I'm saying? The different goddamn opposable thumbs. You feel me? Holes for ears, muscular legs and arms, and the different species of these extraterrestrials. You know what I'm saying? That we gonna get into that. You said some with and without wings. You feel me? You seen the one I just put, goddamn, hey, motherfucker dress up, put clothes on as well. You feel me? Some say that they were here. We already know they was here on Earth before us humans lived. You feel me? They lived in lived in secret underground in caverns around the world, while others believe that they are from the Alpha Draconia star system or the Orion constellation, or both. The reptilians have been around since the beginning of mankind and before mankind, and have been thought to have given the human race much of its early technology, helped build the pyramids, work with the Mayans, and helped start early religion, pretending to be gods and manipulating Adam and Eve. But we already know, you know what I'm saying, what's going on with that. You feel me? But a lot of out of all the different types of alien visiting the Earth, the reptilians are by far the most dangerous to our existence as humans. They have very little respect for us, and they want Earth for themselves. Hold on, what a war that I was looking at. Hold on, y'all. The tradition gives the image of enticing serpent and impressive dimension that has repercussions or many viewpoints of the ancient world, which saw the serpent as representing forces of evil on one hand and as possessing supernatural powers on the other hand. Unfortunately, their final goal is to eventually enslave the human race in the New World Order. Hey, hold on. What a war I want y'all to got down. Hold up. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, where that shit at? But, hold on, where it at? They secretly worked it and incorporated themselves in our societies for their cause. You know what I'm saying? Because they got, you know what I'm saying, warlike mentality. Some, you know what I'm saying? Some suspect that important leaders are actually reptilians acting as humans in order to help them with their agenda, from George Bush to the members of the British royal family. And I want y'all to pay close attention with this guy right here say.
Congress shall now vote for approval of H.R. 8791, the Homeland Terrorism Preparedness Bill. Said bill requests emergency response funding up to and including, this section is classified, dollars to prepare for a national level terrorist attack and or attack from classified. Funding for first responder personnel and vehicles would be doubled if said attack leads to more than 80% of national population being affected by classified. This funding shall commence in conjunction with the first attack on classified, or the first large-scale outbreak of classified, dependent upon which comes first. Civilian and military units shall be trained in containment and combat of classified, including irradiated classified, with possibility of classified airborne, classified flesh-eating, classified, and or all of the above in such event as classified spewing, classified escape, are released or otherwise become uncontrollable. Air Force units may also be directed to combat said classified through their enormous size and otherworldly strength. Should event occur in urban areas, Jesus.
And they said, Jesus.
That's classified. Passing our darkest nightmares. Should casualties exceed classified body disposal actions shall be halted and associated resources shall be reallocated to classified underground, classified protected birthing centers. A new Bill of Rights shall be drafted and approved by classified. Having now reviewed the bill, I ask you to please cast your votes.
Obvious conclusion that this world is controlled by very, very few people behind the people we think are in power, and they have a very, very malevolent agenda for humanity as a whole, who to them are nothing more than cattle. This family bloodline interbreeding control system of these elite families was not just a human thing. It went beyond that into entities that are anything but human. And it was only with the passage of the years and more research when I started to realize the nature of this reality that we're experiencing that made sense in how this structure is playing out. Just outside of the frequency range of visible light, there are entities that are anything but human who have been manipulating this reality, this world, for eons. And because they are operating on a frequency that's different to ours, they have to manipulate our world through conduits. I mean, interfaces. For instance, when you see scientists in a laboratory, they want to work with material that's very dangerous. So the material will be in a big glass tank, and they will be outside the tank, and they'll put on those gloves, and they can work from outside the tank into the tank and do what they have to do. It's very, very similar in theme to what these Illuminati bloodlines have been bred for. They are bred to be the vehicles within visible light, this world that we experience, of these entities. And if you go back and you look at religious beliefs, etc., of the ancients and the accounts of the ancients, these entities, which go under different names, some people call them the serpent race, some people call them demonic. In the Islamic culture, they call them jinns, all different names, but the same entities. The bloodlines are interbreeding incessantly and have been right back to ancient Babylon and Sumer and Egypt, etc., and beyond, because they are holding a certain genetic code which allows the possession, another ancient common theme from as far back as you can track right to today, a genetic code which allows these entities to possess these particular bloodline families within the reality that we experience. And these families are therefore simply vehicles of these demonic entities. You research any of these families, be it the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, Greenspan, Alan Greenspan, any of these people, you will go eventually into black magic, blood-drinking human sacrifice rituals, where they make sacrifices to the gods. And these gods are these entities which feed off human energy and feed off human blood too. So people accept, yes, long ago people used to human sacrifice to the gods, yes, and all the rest of it. And they think, oh no, we're kind of civilized now. Well, some of us are civilized now. Well, some of us are. But these bloodlines are not, and they're just continuing to do today covertly what they were openly doing in the past. And they are interacting with these entities all the time in their rituals. That's why they do all these rituals. That's why they drink the blood. And ultimately, they are possessed by these entities. And this brings about a simple situation. You've got the entities, let's call them demonic entities for want of a word.
Demons.
They're operating just outside of this visible light reality that we experience. They use the bloodline families as their vehicle to manipulate this reality. They take over their mental, what passes for their emotional processes, their physical processes. And what that means is, when these bloodline families go into positions of power, what we're actually doing is seeing these entities go into those positions of power. And so the secret society network is there to manipulate these bloodline families and their agents into the positions that dictate society and the direction it goes and all the rest of it. And because we can only decode their visible light level, we see the human level. We see people under different names called Rockefeller and Rothschild and Bush and Obama and all the rest of it. But if we could see beyond visible light, just a little bit, some people can, you would see overshadowing these people anything but a human entity. And it's these entities that have passed through what we call history, and they have been the cement, the guiding force that has brought this conspiracy through to the present day. Because people have asked me in the past, quite rightly, I understand it, Why would someone give their life to this conspiracy, this global takeover, in 1500 or 1650 or 1820, when they knew they were never going to be around to actually see it happen, which is what they're trying to do now, playing the cards they're playing now? The answer to that is they were just vehicles. These entities are the common force passing through history, which has led this conspiracy to where it is today. What the system has done is to keep from us the nature of the reality we're experiencing and the nature of who we are in life itself. And in doing so, it has kept us completely in the dark about what's actually happening around us. The knowledge that's passed across the top levels of the secret society network through these bloodline families, the most important part of that knowledge is the knowledge of reality itself. For instance, we think as we look around here that we're seeing everything that exists within this room. But in fact, we're only seeing a frequency range, a very tiny one, called visible light. Anything outside of that, we can't decode, therefore we can't see. But just like radio stations share the same space without interfering with each other, so other worlds, other dimensions, other realms of reality, if you like, share the same space without interfering with each other. However, just as with radio, if you've got two stations that are very close on the dial, then one will be the dominant one, but another one, you'll get what we call interference from it. It's the same with these various realities that share the same space. It's what mainstream science calls parallel universes.
But you know that if you have a radio in your living room and it's you have all frequencies in your living room, BBC, Radio Moscow, ABC, but your radio is tuned to one frequency. You're decoherent from all the other frequencies. You're only coherent with one frequency.
Right.
We now believe that the universe is vibrating and that there are vibrations of different universes right in this room. There are the universes of dinosaurs because the comet didn't hit 65 million years ago. They're the wave function of aliens from outer space looking at the rubble of an Earth that already was destroyed, all in your living room, except we have decohered from them. We're no longer in tune with them. We don't vibrate with them. Therefore, our universe is tuned to one frequency, our universe. But it means that probably there are other parallel universes in your living room. And believe it or not, this is called modern physics.
These reptilian entities seem to operate, and again, it's not just reptilian. There are many different kinds of entities that do not have a human form, that operate just outside of human sight, and history has recorded them as demons and all this stuff. But the reptilian part of it seems to be very significant to the controlling systems on the planet today. They operate just outside of visible light. Therefore, we don't see them in the normal course of events. That's just basically like a ghost. When you're looking at a ghostly figure, most of them don't look solid because they're operating just outside of your frequency, just enough for you to perceive something, but not enough for them to appear to be have solidity.
Is he trying to hide that goddamn hand?
See you again.
How are you? Very nice to see you again. How are you doing?
Very nice to hear from you. You sat next to each other, did you?
Yes. Birthday.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was in the States at that point. I couldn't make it, but
No, no,
it wasn't dinner. Yeah, we're having dinner next week.
I should have slightly more time. I haven't realised. Well, I mean, just facing the camera. It is very nice. It's a good idea.
Thank you so much.
Wish my camera got down, do some motherfucking justice on it, goddamn. But you can tell that motherfucker purple.
The Queen's Cup final polo match was held in Windsor this weekend, with the monarch herself in attendance, despite sporting an extremely bloodshot left eye. Close-ups of the Queen showed the infected eye. However, Buckingham Palace remained tight-lipped over its cause, only saying that nothing untoward had happened and Her Majesty was in fine fettle. The Queen seemed undeterred by her ailment, smiling at the crowds before presenting players with their trophies. The Duke of Edinburgh was also at the match, looking like he'd made a full recovery after the bladder infection which saw him hospitalised nearly 2 weeks ago. The Queen's Cup final is one of the world's top 5 polo events, only saying that nothing untoward had happened and tight-lipped over its cause, only saying that nothing untoward had happened.
I'll try to get a close-up on that.
The Queen seemed undeterred by her ailment, smiling at the crowds before presenting players with their trophies.
I'll get a close-up on that.
The Duke of Edinburgh was also at the match, looking like he'd made a full recovery after the bladder infection which saw him hospitalised nearly 2 weeks ago. The Queen's Cup final.
There we go. I just heard her say that. Heard her say wasn't nothing wrong. Get ready for the revealing. Watch how nervous Mark Zuckerberg is about goddamn answering this lizard question. Goddamn, he giving you subliminal hints. Check his body language out. And watch what he say.
There's some pretty good ones. Especially, one of the crazy things when you do these live Q&As is some of them are very silly. So we got one. Mark, are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard?
Why are you looking around?
I'm gonna have to go with no on that. I am not a lizard. But keep the high quality comments coming in, please. This is surely on track to be a great live Q&A if we continue getting stuff at that level of quality. There's actually a lot of funny stuff.
That level of quality.